All right, let's get into it. If you're a creative person, you know this feeling all too well, right? Your digital world, all your apps and files, it's supposed to be helping you, but so often it just feels like it's draining your creative battery. Well, today we're going to talk about how to fix that. We're going to explore how to build a digital life that actually works with your brain, not against it. So let's just start with a really honest question that I think a lot of us face every single day. Does your digital world feel less like a creative partner and more like a roadblock? Yeah? If you're nodding your head right now, you are in exactly the right place. And if these points look familiar, you are definitely not alone. We've all been there, losing that brilliant idea in a sea of 100 open tabs, or having your creative momentum just shattered because you can't find that one file. And the energy drain from constantly switching between tasks? Ugh, it's real. But listen, this isn't some kind of personal failure. It's a symptom of a digital system that's just fighting against how creative brains are wired to work. But, and this is the good news, there is a solution. It's a philosophy called brain-friendly design. And it's all about creating digital systems that respect how your brain actually works. The whole goal is to make your tech a genuine joy to use, not just another frustration you have to put up with. Okay, so our first big idea here is designing your digital space. The goal is pretty simple. We want to make your digital world feel just as intuitive and supportive as, your favorite physical desk or studio. So what do we even mean by a digital workspace? Well, it's not just the apps you use. It's the whole ecosystem. Your tools, your files, all the systems you rely on to do your creative work. You really should think of it like your own personal digital studio, a space that should be designed for deep focus. And the absolute cornerstone of a brain-friendly workspace is this one simple but really powerful rule. Everything has a home. I mean, think about it. When every single file, every tool, every little idea has a designated place to live, you dramatically reduce your cognitive load. You free up your mind for what it does best, which is actually creating things. Now, a fantastic system for actually doing this is Tiago Forte's Para method. It's brilliant. It helps you organize everything into 4 really simple, actionable categories based on how you use information. So you have P for projects, the stuff you're actively working on now, A for areas, your ongoing responsibilities like finances or health, R for resources, all your reference materials, and finally, A for archive, which is all your completed work. Okay, now here's the thing. Most people, when they hear this, they focus on organizing their active projects. But the most overlooked and honestly the most powerful part of this whole system is the archive. This is where the real magic happens for sustaining your creative flow over the long term. So, why does this archive matter so much? Because it is not a digital graveyard where old files go to die. It's an active tool. Moving your finished work out of sight immediately reduces decision fatigue, and it prevents that feeling of overwhelm in your active project folders. It literally creates the mental space for new ideas to pop up. It's like spring cleaning for your brain. All right, so once we've got our space organized, we can move on to the second pillar, automate for your energy. This is all about turning your technology into a flexible assistant that adapts to you, not the other way around. And we're not talking about just any old automation here. We're focusing on a concept we can call respectful automation. What this means is using tech in a way that amplifies your creativity without locking you into some rigid, overwhelming system. Because let's be real, creative energy is not a constant, predictable thing. So the key to getting this right is something called energy-aware workflow design. Basically, your automations should adapt to your energy levels, not force you to adapt to them. You need to have a plan for those high-energy, super productive days, and for the low-energy, gotta recover days. And here's what that can look like in practice. You see, on your high-energy days, that's when you tackle the complex stuff, like building a new system with a tool like Make.com. On medium energy days, you focus on more routine things, maybe using a Stream Deck or some simple scripts. And for those low-energy days, you lean on gentle, passive systems, like a momentum dashboard or just tidying up your archive. The whole guiding principle here is gentle automation. The goal is to just start simple. Pick one tiny, annoying thing to automate. build in recovery time for yourself, and make sure your automations are set up to handle errors gracefully. That way, they actually reduce your stress instead of creating new kinds of it. And finally, our third pillar, which really ties everything together: build sustainable habits. This is how we make these changes actually stick and prevent that long-term creative burnout. Look, you can forget all those rigid, all-or-nothing productivity hacks. The real path to long-term digital wellness is what we'll call the gentle consistency framework. This is about building flexible routines that support you every single day, not just when you're trying to do some short-term sprint. And maybe the most powerful tool for this is just a simple 15-minute weekly check-in. That's it. Just take a few moments to ask, what worked this week? What didn't? Is my workspace still helping me? Are my automations still serving me? And then just set one small, specific intention for the week ahead. This is what keeps your system alive and evolving right alongside you. Now I know, hearing all this, it might feel like a lot to take on at once. But you absolutely do not have to do everything at the same time. The real key to making this last is to just start with one small, totally manageable step. So what could that first step be? Maybe it's as simple as creating a distraction-free writing mode on your computer, or finally organizing your browser bookmarks. But if you want one change that can be a genuine game changer, try this. Create your first archive folder. Seriously, just move a couple of completed projects into it and just notice how it feels to get that mental space back. So we'll end with this final thought to take with you. Just imagine the creative potential, the focus, the joy you could unlock if your entire digital world was actually designed to work with your brain, not against it. What would you create then?